All right, guys, chapter 3 review. You should already have this finished. If you don't, throughout this review, I would suggest that you pause and do it before you look at my answers and then listen. And then also, if you see you've messed something up, I would pause me, try and correct yours, and then watch me do it. Um, Also, if I'm going too fast, I'm going to pause my video every now and then and already have some work on my screen. So what you'll need to do is pause as often as you need to. Maybe you have to pause and write it down. Maybe you listen as I explain and then you pause and write it down. Maybe you have to pause and listen to me 3 times. I don't know. Do what you need to do in order to get yourself a great test score tomorrow. All right, so vocab. There is a box down here that has choices for you to explain. It says up here, explain how it is related to the 84-degree angle. So that was given. So we know that 84 and 2 are both 84 because 2 is vertical. So that's why I put 84 over here. We know that 84 and 4 are the same measure because they are corresponding. Corresponding basically means the same position. This is in the top of these 4. This is in the top of these 4. So 4 is also 84. Angle 6 is also 84. So these two and these two are all 84. And angle 6 up here, because it's alternate exterior to the 84-degree angle. They are definitely outside of the parallel lines and they are on opposite sides of the transversal. And then lastly on here, angle 3, we know is not 84, but the 84-degree angle and the 3 lie along this line. That makes them supplementary. Together they add to 180. So once we found that angle 3 is 96, so is 1, so is 7, and so is 5. So make sure you know your vocab words. Study those. Here's some more vocab. Use the figure at the right to answer the following questions. Name a pair. You only had to answer one of these. Alternate exterior. Outside the parallel would be like 1 and 8. Alternate interior. Inside the parallel lines would be like 3 and 6. Corresponding is the same position. So if I look at angle 1, same position down here is 6, or any of these answers. And then name a pair of vertical. So 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 6 and 8, 5 and 7. And that is it for your vocab. And section 3.1. This page is going to go on to section 3.2. So I'm going to do a little bit. You'll see that most of this is blank. I may do a little explaining and then some work will pop up. So you just need to pause as necessary. So first, find the measures of the interior angles. You know by now that triangles always add up, the interior angles of triangles always add up to 180. If you did not know that, you can always use this formula for interior angles. So you're going to need to set up an equation for both of these. All right, and then I went ahead and set up the equation. So if you did not yet, pause. Don't just copy mine down. Try it and check yours. So these 3 angles, you can write them in any order, added together equal 180. Combine like terms, subtract off the 164, and you get x is 16. You could always check yourself. Take a calculator, add these 3. You do get 180 when you add. So cool, check. That's correct. Same over here. These 3 angles should add up to 180. Combine like terms, subtract off the 135, you get 45, which if you thought about it, you probably already knew. But then check, add those 3, it does equal 180, so check. All right, so that's interior angles on a triangle. To find an exterior angle of a triangle, you find the sum of the non-adjacent. Okay, non-adjacent means not beside. Okay, so for instance, these 2 angles are adjacent. They share a leg. They are right beside each other. Okay, this angle out here and this one over here are definitely not adjacent. So exterior equals the sum. You're adding together. So let's look at this one. Out here, the exterior. So 4x plus 9 equals these two added together. You do not need to use the parentheses when you're writing your equations. So there's your equation for 11. Okay, if you were stuck, there's an example to get you started. Combine like terms, keep going. That should also help you set up out here equals these two added together. Go ahead and pause unless you're ready to see more. All right, on this one I went ahead and combined like terms, and then I stopped because I wanted to remind you when you are solving equations and you have variables on both sides, we say to undo the lesser variable. So I'm going to take 4x off both sides. 5x's minus 4x's is x. Bring down the minus 12, and then isolate the x by adding 12 to both sides. We get 21 equals x. Now that's not the end of this problem. It says find the measure of the exterior angle. So x is 21. So now you need to come up here and do 4 times 21 plus 9. And you can use your calculator, of course, on that. And when you do 4 times 21 and then plus 9, you get 93 degrees. So this angle out here is 93. If we had these, we could check. So we're going to go ahead and do these. 2 times 21 is 42. And then over here, 3 times 21 minus 12, use your calculator, is 51. 42 plus 51 does equal 93. So we're like, woohoo, we are correct. Check. Okay, and I've already set up this one while you were paused. Hopefully you have too. So again, we're at this point where we have variables on both sides. We can take an x. Remember, this is 1x off of both sides. So that's now 2 x's. These are gone. That's 60. Divide by 2. We get x equals 30. And again, that's not the end. Go back and label. Find x and then find all the angle measures and then check. So x equals 30. So here we do 3 times 30. So this angle is 90. That one's 43, we already know it, and this angle is now 30 plus 15, which is 45. So oops, pause, what did I do? Okay, I messed up right here, but I'm going to explain this. So what I was starting to say is if 90 is equal to 45 plus 43, you're right, but we're not. So I'm going to turn my mistake instead of going back and redoing this. This is what's up. If you are checking your work and these two do not add up to give you that, we're wrong. So I went back and looked, and if you saw my mistake right here, instead of writing 43, I wrote 45. So that should be a 43, which makes this a 58. And so that's a 58. And 58 divided by 2 is 29. So sorry for all my mess ups, but this is a good lesson on it, especially on a review. This is how you can help yourself. So back to here, 3 times 29 would actually be 87 degrees. That's still 43. And here, 29 plus 15 is 44. So I know your paper probably looks like a big old mess, especially if you were grading yours and then you're like, what is she doing? So my bad on messing this up. Be careful. Check your work. That's how I knew I was wrong. All right, lesson learned. Keep going. Let's look at the next ones here. This is from section 3.3. Find the sum of the interior angle measures. You can always use this formula. So first thing, make some marks to count. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. N equals 7. That is the number of sides. Use this formula. S equals N minus 2 times 180. So the number of sides, 7 minus 2 times 180. That's 5 times 180. You certainly do not have to do all of these steps. I'm just showing you where it comes from in case you're confused. 5 times 180 is 900. So that is our total number of degrees that all of these angles are. So that's it. That is the sum of the interior angles. Okay, this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So n equals 6. We do S times 6 minus 2 times 180. So that's 4 times 180. Total of the interior angles using a calculator is 720 degrees. So that is it for that page. Flip it. I'm going to go ahead and at least start these, and then I might actually start a new video here. So this whole page actually is from section 3.3. So these problems are pretty crazy. They look like a whole bunch of sides. No big deal. You do the same thing. So again, we're going to count these sides. Be careful in counting the sides. Count the angles to double check. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles. All right, we're good. So we're going to use that same formula. S is going to be equal to 6 minus 2 times 180. That is 4 times 180, which is 720. Use your calculator. So all of these interior angles add up to 720. Write an equation. I'm going to go ahead and combine like terms while I do that. Here's a 2x, here's an x. Together, that makes 3x. Here's a 92, a 75, a 102, and a 136. Use your calculator, add those together, and you get 405. Okay, that equals 720. How do we know? We did the math right here. Solve it. Subtract 405 from both sides. Cancel. You get 3x equals 315. Divide by 3, divide by 3. X equals 105. So did this say find x? It said find the measures of the interior angles. So this x is 105, but this one is 2 times 105, which is 210. Before you move on, especially on your test, add this plus this plus this. Now we know these two. So add all 6 angles together. If you get 720, woohoo, you're correct. If you don't, then you've got a problem. Okay, same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the total is 5 sides minus 2 times 180. So that total sum is going to be 540 degrees. So these 5 things add up to 540. Let's do, let's do some combining of like terms again. So here's an x, here's another x. That's 2 x's. And then don't forget that 1. We have a 1, a 101, a 145, and a 95. All of those added together, use your calculator, are 342. All the angles together add up to 540. We subtract off the 342, subtract off 342, we get 2x equals 198. Divide by 2, divide by 2 to isolate your x. X equals 99. Okay, we are not quite finished. We need to go back up here and label. So this is 99. This one is 99 plus 1. So this one is 100. If you add these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers together, we had 5 sides, and it adds up to 540, then you know you're correct. So that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop there and make a new video for the rest.